fam and everyone out there in the world. This is Nihility Terra, and this is going to be a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings for the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, before I get started with the reading and going over what the Sun represents, what it represents being in Sagittarius, as well as what house Sagittarius is from, your sign as an Aquarius, and what house not Aquarius, Cancer. I was thinking about Aquarius, but what your sign as a Cancer is and what house Cancer is born out of. I do want to say that I hope all of y'all had a good first half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius, and I hope all will be well for y'all during this second half. With that being said, let's talk about what the Sun represents, what it represents being in Sagittarius. So the Sun is our actions, our viewpoints, how we see the world around us, as well as correlates to our wants, and it is going to be the energies of Sagittarius, which is mutable fire, being mutable and adaptable to your own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling the emotions. And Sagittarius itself was born out of the 9th house of higher education, higher knowledge, wisdom, faith, spirituality, and long distance travel, both externally and internally. So, with that being said, you Cancer are cardinal water, which is initiating and creating new ways of feeling the emotions. And Cancer itself was born out of the 4th house of family, people that you consider family, and privacy. So, with that being said, Cancer itself in conjunct Sagittarius. So for Cancer Suns, you're going to misunderstand how to see and feel in a mutable way when it comes to your cardinal water energies. Since you initiate and create new ways of feeling the emotions, and Sagittarius is being mutable and adaptable with seeing and feeling the emotions, with seeing and feeling your own ways and other people's ways. Since Sagittarius is mutable fire, be mutable and adaptable to your own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling the emotions. And like I say, Cancer, being initiating and creating new ways of feeling the emotions. This in conjunction is going to have you misunderstand how to see and be mutable and adaptable with your own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling emotions when it comes to your cardinal energies. So, do your best to not initiate any emotions without first seeing and feeling other people's emotions as well. Now, Cancer Moons, this is what you're going to be attracted. You're going to be attracted others that are going to misunderstand how to be mutable and adaptable, seeing and feeling the emotions towards you when it comes to them initiating, creating new ways of feeling the emotions. So, moving on to the reading, I'm going to shuffle the Universal Cards Tarot deck a couple more times, and then pour 9 cards plus an overall from the Universal Cards Tarot deck. Then move on to the Waite deck for clarifications, and then move on to the Moonology Oracle deck to see what Mother Moon has to say to you through me to end the reading off. So let's see what you guys got going on for the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings, on the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius, your overall energies of this reading is the Queen of Wands. So you're being very passionate and independent, going after what you want and desire in a very passionate way, without really caring about others' opinions. Not necessarily not caring about others in general, but just their opinions are based off of what you're passionately going after and what you're wanting to do and desiring to do in your life during the second half of the Sun transitioning into the sign of Sagittarius. Now, your first card for Universal Cards Tarot deck that you get is the Emperor card, which is Aries energy. So you could deal with an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Aries in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But overall, you're taking power and control over your life and being that fatherly like figure, as well as doing your best to remain stable during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now your second card for the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Five of Wands, which is minor conflict. So as long as you put your mind to whatever this is in order to solve it, plus we'll clarify what this is when we get to it, but continuing off what I said, as long as you put your mind to solving this, this is not going to be hard to solve. It is minor conflict. As you can see here, the wizard is training the dragon how to breathe fire in order to be prepared for the battle that they might have. But first, the dragon needs to be trained how to breathe fire. So, minor conflict, just do your best to look at the bigger picture of your life and how to proceed forward in the most sufficient way. Now your third card for Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is talking about taking leadership over a vision that you've envisioned for yourself. But you must not give up on this vision just because it looks like nothing's coming out of it. Because the King of Wands himself will give up on what he's doing if he doesn't see anything growing into fruition from where he is putting energy from. Or where he is putting energy towards. So, have patience, but continue to put energy work into this vision that you've envisioned for yourself, especially if it's for the betterment of well-being and your highest good moving forward. Now your fourth card for Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Wheel of Fortune, which is Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio energy. So you can deal with the Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars. Or have one of these energies in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But overall, you're warring with the cycles and changes of your life. You're warring with, pretty much going with the flow, with the Wheel of Fortune being here, as well as just embracing cycles as they come, and the changes, like I said, of your life. Now, with the fifth card for the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups can talk about nostalgia, excuse me, or being in the past, or sharing with others, alright? When you can care and share with others, okay? So, with that being said, you're either dealing with past energies or sharing with others with the Six of Cups coming out. We'll clarify that to see what's going on with the Six of Cups when we get to it. Now you're with your sixth card for Universal Celtic Tarot deck they get is the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is talking about you possibly holding on to something too tightly, or you not wanting to let go of something. Make sure whatever it is that you're not wanting to let go. Make sure whatever it is that you're not wanting to let go is not something that's not for the betterment of your well-being. Alright, make sure whatever you're holding on to is serving you and is for the betterment of well-being and your highest good moving forward when it comes to this Four of Pentacles energy. Now with the seventh card for Universal Celtic Tarot deck they get is the Judgment card, which is Scorpio energy. So you can deal with the Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or have these energies in your chart, and if so, these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But overall, you are giving rebirth to an old idea or something that you used to do in the past. There's revitalization energy, maybe a revitalization of a relationship, a work project, goal, aspiration, idea, whatever the case may be. There is some type of revitalization energy happening for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the eighth card from Universal Celtic Tarot deck they get is the Tower card, which is Scorpio energy. So you can deal with the Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Scorpio on your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But there is sudden change happening for you, whether it be positive or negative. It's just sudden change. So with this sudden change, learn to embrace whatever happens. If it's positive stuff coming down, learn to create a new way of seeing things in a positive light without these things that are positive that have crumbled down being in it. Or if this is negative stuff that is crumbling down, then just move on the way you are and be happy that this isn't positive. So with it, just overall sudden change and just embrace whatever it is that is happening. Keep in mind that the Star card is right after the Tower card, so if it is positive stuff that's falling, then focus on healing, focus on tending to yourself and healing any wounds that you might have left over from this drastic change. I'm not trying to scare anybody, just reading the card. Now, with the ninth and last but not least card for the Universal Catcher Tarot deck, they get is the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is talking about you working really hard and showing your work with the world. Typically in a Waite deck, you'll see a couple of people around the table and they're working together, which represents collaboration. But in this particular Three of Pentacles, the man is by himself, showing the his work to the world. As you can see here with the Stonehenge being levitated for the world to see. So, with that being said, I feel like you are showing any type of work you have been working on to the world in order to gravitate attention towards what you are doing in your life during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, with that being said, let's move on to clarifications. But first, let's summarize. So overall, being very passionate during this time, this very passionate energy going on, being very independent, you're not caring about others' opinions. Like I said, you're not really not caring about others, but just not caring about the other opinions about what it is that you're wanting to decide to do in your life during this time. And being very passionate. Now with the Emperor card, you are taking power and control over your life and what it is that you're wanting to desire to do in your life during this time, and doing your best to remain in that stability, stable energy. So, moving on to the Five of Wands, there is some type of minor conflict that you're dealing with. Focus on how to best solve this minor conflict, which if you do so, then I feel like you all will be able to solve this minor conflict moving forward. With the King of Wands, you are taking leadership over a vision that you've envisioned for yourself and being very passionate with that vision. But just do your best to have patience. So like I said, do your best to have patience during this time and continue to put energy into this vision that you've envisioned for yourself moving forward during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Wheel of Fortune, you are roaring with the changes and cycles of your life and embracing whatever is coming towards you. With the Six of Cups, there is some type of past energy that is coming up. Maybe you be in the past or dealing with nostalgia, or you're just showing your emotions with others. With the Four of Pentacles, there's something that you're holding onto very tightly. Maybe something that you shouldn't hold on to, or maybe something that you should. We'll clarify that when we get to it. With the Judgment card, there is some type of revitalization energy happening with either an idea, work, goal, aspiration, business endeavor. Something is getting revitalized with the Judgment card showing up. And then with the Tower card, the Tower card is you going through sudden changes. Excuse me. And if it's anything positive that's crumbling, focus on healing afterwards. Right? Just focus on yourself and healing and doing what's best for yourself moving forward. And then with the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles is you working really hard and showing your work with others. So, with that being said, let's move on to clarifications. Starting off with the overall being the Queen of Wands. So, the Queen of Wands is clarified by the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius energy. So you begin with the Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Jupiter, or have Sagittarius in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius, where you are combining two or more words together. And this is what's back and supporting this passionate energy that you're in, is by you combining two or more words together to form that equilibrium within those two or more words. Alright? Focus on balancing everything out that you have going on in your life so you can passionately go after what you want and desire and remain in that independent energy. Now with the Emperor card, the Emperor card is clarified by the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is you emotionally going after what you want and desire during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. And by doing so, this is helping you maintain power and control. Alright, so this is what you're taking power and control over, is dealing with going after what you want inside emotionally during this time. Now with the Five of Wands is clarified by the Five of Wands, which is just clarification that there is minor conflict happening. So do your best to focus on this minor conflict and do what's best for both parties, as well as do what's without desires. Alright, do your best to solve this in the best way you can by thinking about both parties moving forward during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the King of Wands is clarified by the Two of Swords, which is talking about a decision. As you can see here, the moon is in the Two of Swords, so use your intuition when it comes to the decision, dealing with this King of Wands energy by you taking leadership over a vision that you've envisioned for yourself. Keep in mind to keep being patient during this time, because the King of Wands will drop whatever he's doing if he doesn't see anything coming out of it. Now with the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is talking about you juggling decision. You're in a decision-making process, especially with the Two of Swords and the Two of Pentacles coming out at the same time. There is a decision that you're making in the material world, and you're doing your best to war with the changes by making the best decision for yourself and betterment of well-being moving forward during this time. Now with the Six of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is this independent energy, and having everything that you having everything that you want, not everything that you want, but everything that you need in the material world, but you may not have everything that you want, but you are being independent during this time, which I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles clarifying the Six of Cups, that you're sharing your emotions with others because you are very independent yourself. Now with the Four of Pentacles is clarified by the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy. So you begin with the Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mercury, or have Gemini in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But overall, you are either dealing with a soulmate, a twin flame, or you listening to your higher self during this time. And with the Lover's card clarified by clarifying the Four of Pentacles, I feel like whatever you're holding on to is dealing with the soulmate or twin flame or something with your higher self. So this very well is something that you may want to hold on to, but just don't let it become toxic for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. If it's dealing with you listening to your higher self, continue to act on whatever it is that you feel like you as your higher self is wanting to do. The higher self is just whenever you step out of what is going on around you and looking at things in the bigger picture without adding any desires or any extra thoughts and feelings towards it, and doing what's best for you moving forward. Now with the Judgment card is clarified by the Star card, which is Aquarius energy. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Saturn, or have Aquarius in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. However, you are focusing on healing healing towards revitalizing something from the past, with the Star card clarifying the Judgment card. So whatever you're revitalizing and whatever you're giving rebirth to, it is helping you heal throughout this time with the Sun transition in the second half of Sagittarius. Now with the Tarot card is clarified by the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords is talking about a heartbreak or a necessary sacrifice. So with the clarifying the Tarot card, you may go through some painful experiences, but just focus on healing, focus on yourself, focus on doing what's best for you and the betterment of well-being, your highest good moving forward, and focus on healing this pain. Or if it's a necessary sacrifice, maybe this necessary sacrifice will bring more change for the better for you moving through the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Moon card, which is Pisces energy. So you could be dealing with a Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Jupiter, or have Pisces in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. With the Moon card clarifying the Three of Pentacles, you are listening to intuition and doing your best to embrace the unknown. Don't fear the unknown. Keep in mind that fear is just fear of reality by you creating and agreeing with negative thoughts and feelings. So instead, create higher perspectives and create and agree with positive thoughts and feelings moving forward when it comes to the unknown, dealing with this work situation. Right? Show your work to the world and just embrace your intuition and don't fear the unknown, but embrace the unknown while doing so during the second half of the Sun, which is in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, let's move on to Moonology Oracle deck to see what Mother Moon has to say to you. You need to end the reading off. So your first card for Mother Moon to you, to me, is Full Moon in Pisces. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Spirituality is individuality, so balance out your individuality and practicality during this time. Alright? Balance out what's best for you and what is practical, and so you can move sufficiently through the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. And with your second card for Mother Moon to you, to me, is Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. So this is a time. This time is a time for healing, as we can see here with the Star card. Focus on healing during this time. I felt that being called very much so during this reading. So focus on healing yourself. Focus on mending those broken parts of yourself during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. And like Mother Moon says, it is a time for healing moving forward. Now your last but not least card for Mother Moon to you, to me, is Full Moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. So it is time to release this negativity. That very well could be what the minor conflict is. You may not have faith in yourself, or something. Whatever that minor conflict is, it is dealing with negativity. So release the negativity, like the card says, like Mother Moon wants you to be aware of. That negativity will not get you anywhere good. So focus on removing that negativity from your life and from your perspectives moving forward during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. And with that being said, that will be all for this general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Risings. I hope this helped. I hope this brought clarity or aided you in any way. Shout out to the whole Soul family. Shout out to the Pilot Man. Y'all be blessed. Remember that you'll never be less. Y'all take care and peace.